This is how big my eye is. No, I haven't gone crazy. I'm just trying to show you what we are doing today. We are gonna draw from life. This is what we're gonna draw today. My books, and on top of it, my mug. I didn't put many details because I just wanted to focus on where to shade and how to get the proportions right. If you have never drawn from life and you wanted to learn, this is your opportunity. As creators, we really value your opinion and your support, and the best way to do that is to subscribing to my channel and also hitting the like button for this video. So let's draw from life. There are two ways of drawing from life. The first one is by using your pencil. Let's say we want to get the full height of this book and mug combination. I hold my pencil tightly and stretch my arm straight, just like this. It is highly important that you stretch your arm at max each time, as you need consistency in your proportions. I just focus on the area between the tip of my pencil and where my finger is placed. For example, here I place my finger where the bottom of the book stack is, and tip of my pencil aligns with where the mug ends. The same way I can have the proportion of the mug as well in comparison to the whole height of the stack of books. For the width of the things, we apply the same logic. But this might be hard for some people since we work with proportions according to their relationship to each other instead of actual length or width. Let me introduce you to the second method then, using a proportional divider. Here you see me stretching my arm again just the same way and fixing my divider right at this point. The other side, the larger angle, will be the size that will reflect on my paper. Let me show you how. On the left, you see the full height of the object that I measured with the smaller arms of my divider. And on the right, you see the height that will reflect on my paper. It just turns a real life size object into a paper size one. And as long as we keep the same proportions for each object, we should get an accurate sketch. With width proportions, we use this tool the same way. Let me show you how I use my proportional divider now. Here, come and take a closer look. On the left, I have the small arms of the proportional divider, which I will measure the real life object with, and I use the larger arms to draw these proportions on my paper. You can arrange the scale of the object you want to draw by just moving the hinge further away from the tip or closer to it. Let me give you an example here. I'm holding my proportional divider to measure the height of this object. Then, without making any changes to my tool, I place it right on my paper and read what the longer arms tell me. Just mark the top and bottom. For our drawing, first let's place a center the way we want. Then we can place our divider's central point to this center and mark the upper and lower boundaries. If you don't have proportional divider, you can do this with any kind of divider that you buy from store. First, I started from the book at the bottom. I measured the height and reflected what the long arms told me on my paper. Then I did the book right above it exactly the same way. As you can see, it is thicker than the first book. The same way, I marked all the boundaries where the book ended and started. The same way, I marked all the boundaries where the books were laid on top of each other, and for the width, again, I followed the exact proportions from my divider. Once I got all these sketch points, I started drawing what I see using perspective and paying attention to where each book ends and where they start, where the mug exactly stands, how wide is the mug in comparison to the book right below it. All of these were added with right proportions thanks to our proportional divider. Because I'm doing my sketch with my HB pencil, it is hard to see. I apologize for that. And you see that each time I made a mistake, I used my kneaded eraser to correct. While working with graphite pencils, I think kneaded eraser is the best. Now that we are done with our sketch and our proportions, we can have our shadows and we can start shading. I don't like to work on easel for this, so I'll be using my desk to show you my shading style. The pencils I used here is HB for sketching, and then 2H, 2B, and 5B for shading, for adding the shadow details. Here you can see the first shadow that I'm adding on the mug. What else do we see? I see that due to the angle of the light, here the siding of the books are dark and the top surface of the books get more light, so they're brighter. I also see some shadow on the mug handle. The shadow of the mug on the book also is there. And finally, I see that my pumpkin decoration is casting shadow on this book. So we will add all these shadows one by one. We will start from the mug. There are so many different sketching techniques. There is, for example, stippling, hatching, cross-hatching, circlism, and more. I prefer blending as I like their natural look more. But I have a confession that I don't really enjoy drawing still objects. I really love my books and my coffee mug, so that's why I actually chose to draw them. But this drawing didn't speak to me as much as I thought it would. Maybe I should try it with watercolor next time and I'm gonna get a better result. As you see, I'm adding shadows to the siding of the books because they are darker, and add more highlights to the surface of the book covers, especially the top cover you see that where mug stands. Some books were really dark in comparison to other ones, so I drew them with charcoal, not graphite. You see where the book cover bends. There's smooth transition from darker to lighter tones and values. So you can create that effect by just adding more to less pressure on your paper with your pencil while you're doing horizontal pencil strokes. Your objects will have a 3D real-life look when you do this. In order to blend my pencil, I used the tissue and my number 8 flat brush. If you're working with charcoal, I highly recommend having a soft eraser next to you because they work the best with charcoal. And of course, some wet wipes to clean your hands when necessary. In the background, you see that my curtains cast shadows on each other and reflect light where they bend. In order to create that 3D effect, I use darkest to lightest shading with my graphite pencils. The desk needs to have a different value than the curtain behind it. So we made sure to create that value difference by just using our pencils. In overall, drawing from life is not easy, and with today's technology, now people are taking photos of these still objects and they draw from the photos instead. But let's not forget, seeing the object in 3D and getting to see it from every angle gives you a much better feeling of what you're drawing. So it is really debatable. What's your opinion about drawing from life? Share your opinion in the comment section. I would love to know. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I am here with a new tutorial. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe and visit my website, ecegurler.com. Stay with art.